All right, good day, Wallballers worldwide. Today we're here in Stockton, California with Angel Handball Hernandez, also the ambassador of Northern California Handball. Angel, man, thank you for being on with us. You know, this is my brother right here, so we've been wanting to get him on for years. So, hey, man, thank you for joining us on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Hey, man, the honor's all mine, brother. Honor's all mine. Years ago, probably about 10, 12 years ago when I first moved out to California, this is one of the first brothers who embraced me and kind of brought me into the fold, so I'm always appreciative of it. Thank you again. So we're here today at the Valentine's Day Massacre tournament here, some seawall out in Angel's Hood of Stockton. And, Angel's been a very prominent promoter of tournaments out here in Northern California for years. And Angel, I've always wanted to, ask you, like, how'd you get involved with doing the tournaments?
Well, I'm originally from Tracy. I grew up in a neighborhood they call the South Side. McDonald Park is where I started playing handball. But years ago, I moved here to Stockton. My wife's from Stockton. So I've been out here for over 10, 15 years. I got started organizing handball because when I was 17, I think I was around 16 years old, no, 17. They had a tournament in my neighborhood, and I wasn't able to participate because I had got shot in my leg. I broke my leg. I had a cast on.
That's another story.
Yeah, for a long time. It was from running the streets, And so I didn't get to participate in that tournament, and I knew I was always one of the best players amongst my age group. And so I was always waiting for them to have another tournament, and they never did. And so I didn't get that opportunity to compete. I've always been a competitor. I've always been an athlete. I used to play football. I did wrestling. So, I was waiting for that day, and it never happened. Fortunately, I met Ronnie Lobston. He's here, older man who does tournaments here in Stockton. I think around that time I was going to Delta College, and I was doing some community activism, Chicano activism, and I ran into him, met him through another friend. We got to talking about handball. He told me he does tournaments in Stockton. I said, hey, man, I want to do one in Tracy. So he says, I'll tell you what, let's do Tracy versus Stockton. He brought his players from Stockton to Tracy, and that was the first time we did it in 1996 was Tracy versus Stockton. And, from that point, I had a tournament in Tracy every year. Actually, last year I'm celebrating 25 years.
25 years, man. We was there in the house, yeah.
Yeah, I've organized tournaments consistently. I did that tournament every year, nonstop, no matter what happened. I still did that tournament. Eventually, I moved here to Stockton, and these guys hit me up one time. We're like, hey, man, we know you do tournaments in Tracy. And, of course, this is the neighborhood. This is the east side of Stockton. I'm not from this neighborhood, but I've been embraced here. When I plugged in here, there was a lot of older guys. It's like a social club. We didn't really have that in Tracy, but guys from different areas, and it's just all handball, and I really loved it. And they told me, hey, man, we know you do tournaments in Tracy. We've been to some of yours. Why don't you do one here? I said, if you guys are okay with it, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to, you know what I mean? And they were like, yeah, it's all good, man. So I did. And then another guy comes up to me, this is not my park. This is my park over here, and this is my park when you can do one at mine. If you're cool with it, I'll do it.
It's all good, right?
So then from there, it just took off. Everybody's asking me, when's the next one? When's the next one? So then I started doing research, started figuring out where all the courts are here in Stockton. In Stockton, we have about 14 courts.
Wow. I didn't realize there was that many.
Yeah, but not all of them are in good shape. Yeah. There's four main ones. This is the main one. Stribley, you got McKinley, Brotherhood, and then you got Groupie. Those are the four main parks, but this is the main one. This is the heart. And so all the rest are not in good shape. And so we recently went to City Hall to tell them, that, hey, we'd like to get these courts fixed. And they have plans of fixing up Brotherhood, McKinley, Lewis Park, which is another park on the west that has 4 courts, 2 on each side. And that used to be a spot where they used to do tournaments too. So they're going to be doing some of that, which I think is going to lead to more people playing. Because I've gone to those places, put up flyers. Nowadays we rely on social media. right? To
Yeah, back in then,
advertise
there's always a
tournaments.
poster or some kind of flyer you gave out.
Yeah, I was always going around town putting up posters, flyers, you know, and I'd run into players. Hey, man, how come you guys don't come to the tournament? I met a lot of people that way, got to learn a lot of different courts, and I would go play with some of them, you know, sometimes. So from that's kind of how it started, you know, back then. And I've just always had a knack for organizing. Even when I was young, I used to go to all my friends' house, knock on their doors, let's go play football at the park, and round them all up, and then we make teams. And
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
I can
just
attest to that,
inherited
man. I can attest that you're a great leader by example.
Oh, thank you.
You know, you're a great leader by example. But you know, you touched on something there that I want to follow up on, which is getting involved with the community. And you know, I love the fact that you're an advocate for the handball community out here in Northern California. Can you tell us a little bit more about what your you know, what your goal and your mission is about doing that, and you know, how do you feel that these events have affected the community, but also the players themselves?
Well, I had my time in the streets, running around, getting in trouble, and you know, it got to a point where I had to make a decision. Do I want to be a family man, or do I want to, you know what I mean, be a gangster all my days? And you know, I met a beautiful woman, and we decided let's make a family. So I had to find a
Beautiful
way.
family.
Yeah, thank God to her, my wife Mona, and she's been my backbone all these years, stood by my side through thick and thin. And so from that point, I had to kind of recreate myself and find something else to get into. I had to stop drinking, smoking, and hanging out, but I needed to do something. So when I came here and I plugged in, it was awesome because again, it's like a social club. We don't have an actual building, but we have this place where older guys, younger guys, all handball players from different walks of life, and we come together. So I seen that and I was like, man, this is a beautiful thing. And I remember prior to that, I was in jail kind of contemplating what I want to do. And I was in charge of sweeping the handball court at night. Everyone would go to sleep. I'll be there by myself sweeping the court, contemplating on what it is, you know, I'm gonna do with my life. And I remember looking at the handball and like, I'm gonna do something with this. I'm gonna commit myself to this right here. And that was it. My mind was set. Nobody could tell me different. I would run into small ball players. They'd be like, that big ball's never gonna amount to nothing. You should learn small ball. And I was like, you know, hey, that's cool. I'll learn small ball too. Yeah, I'll learn small ball. I'm not gonna stay stuck to one. I'm gonna travel, move around, meet other players. I want to learn everything there is about this. Big ball, small ball, one wall, you know, 3 wall, 2 wall, 4 wall, indoor, outdoor, you know, the whole nine. So as I started to meet people, you know, I started building a bigger base of people, and then they would invite us to their tournaments because, you know, you kind of get tired of playing the same people. You know, you want new competition. You want to prove how good you are. So you want to play everybody. So we started venturing out to Fresno, to San Jose, to Woodland.
To Campbell.
Yeah, so Campbell. So it's like what I would do is I'd look online, and I seen that Southern California had a calendar. They had a website.
Yeah, all the events and all that, right?
Yeah, and I used to go, and that's how I learned about Luis Gaitan, rest in peace. He was from San Diego, older man who used to organize tournaments in Southern California. And he would post up his results and the tournament calendar. And so I would start posting mine up on their calendars, and then people would find out and hit me up. Hey, man, that's how I met Pitbull and them from Woodland. Hey, I'm going to come to your tournament. All right, come. And we meet them. You guys got courts over there? Yeah, man, come. Oh, so we start going networking. Same thing with Smiley, you know, with Nacho. And we just had
Nacho in Fresno.
Yeah, Nacho is like, you know, he's
Nacho's
the man.
in the house today.
Yeah, he's here.
He's over there in the red
Nacho's
shorts.
the man in Fresno. You know, Smiley is the man in San Jose who I was organizing
Roosevelt,
with.
yeah.
Pitbull and his brother Johnny Woodland. You know, now we got Eric and Lodi and a lot of other people who have come into the fold.
Yeah.
But we would move it around. So it's like we had our own thing.
Yeah.
And that's what was cool about it is it's our own thing to do
Like
stuff.
a network. It's like a network.
Yeah, it's our own thing. And so eventually what happened was, so I also, because, you know, I walked that life in the streets, and I know that, you know, a lot of that only leads to a lot of pain and suffering. And I feel like we're kind of limited. Okay, All right. All right.
We got a game, so let's just kind of wrap this up because we don't want to miss out on Angel Hernandez, right? You know, in closing, I mean, you've had this guy. We're not doing him justice by cutting, but hey, it's handball and it's time to play, right? But we're not doing this justice. But in closing, I mean, where would you like to see this game going, particularly here in your own community and in Northern California as a greater?
I would like to see us. Honestly, I feel like we are the ones now that need to grab the reins and create a bigger organization and bigger tournaments.
Yeah.
We had WPH, and I was grateful for them. They ran it for a good maybe 8 years. We were having like pro tournaments, right? But they got exhausted with the big ball, and their focus now is small ball, and I understand that because it takes a lot of time and energy and commitment. And so I feel like it's up to us now. If we want to see it grow, we got to do it. But
especially with the social media and the networks that we have, it's time right now. I agree.
But even so, I mean, I'm still content with what we have. We still get together. We're networking through social media, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But to see it grow would be nice. To see it get, you know what I mean? Shoot, I mean, in the Olympics on TV.
How about a national league?
Yeah, exactly.
A national league of handball players.
Yeah, that'd be great. You know, so sky's the limit. I think, though, we are waiting for someone else to do it, and we got to do it.
Hey, I can tell you this, folks out there. You know, if you're watching this on Facebook and you're a handball player, you're probably already friends with Angel. But if and when there's that national league, I nominate him for our Northern California representative right now. Okay. So hey, and Angel, man, I know that guys are calling you. Thank you so much for being on with us, man. I really do appreciate you being on with us, and thank you all for watching.
Yeah. Thank you.
Peace, brother.
Yeah.
Awesome, brother.